And we are live and we're here just getting on, man. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while since we've been on here, man, but we are back. We are back finally to bring you Xennials Nostalgia episode 4. I'm your boy Tuck. Um, we're doing it all. We're bringing it back, man. You guys know Malik Hendrix. You know, he's the co-host of the show,
What's
and we
up,
got a new
everybody?
we got a new addition also. Your boy Brian 5150. Brian Bates in the building.
Yo, what's up?
Um,
What's up?
yes, sir. So that's the new addition here, man. And
Yes,
Xennial
sir.
Nostalgia, man. We're gonna give it to Brian first, man. Tell us a little about yourself, man. We met Brian on this journey, man, and he is one of us. Real recognized real. So
Oh,
Okay. I was born and raised in Toronto. Got to live probably the greatest decade, the 90s through Toronto and stuff like that. And then essentially around maybe 2000, 2005, I noticed the city was starting to get a little bit violent and stuff like that.
mm,
Had met my wife. We're like 20 years later now. I live out in a small town now, married, 3 kids. Um, just essentially like the 90s in Toronto, man. It was sweet. It was a whole different time and stuff. So,
that's what's up. That's
yeah.
what's up. Shout out to Toronto and that
that's
whole
what's up,
area.
man.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what's up, man.
Toronto.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
And
man.
Malik,
I was
man,
thinking about moving to Canada too, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Malik, what's going on?
What's up, B? How you doing, Earl?
What's
How you
going on,
doing,
man?
Brian? Good to see y'all, man. Happy to be here.
Good to see you, bro.
Oh man, I'm blessed, man. Good to see y'all, man. I'm blessed,
Hey,
man. Brian, it's finally good to meet you, man. You
yeah,
know,
Yeah.
um, I mean, this is gonna be the memorable show right here, man, because we got two great cats that's right by me, man, and then number three, the first and only God Almighty, man. God is good, because without God, there would be no Malik Hendrix in the mix. So I just thank God every day for this opportunity. I thank God for you guys, man, and it's I'm blessed.
Yeah, man, no doubt, no doubt.
that's what's
And like I
up,
said
man.
earlier before we went live and stuff, I appreciate you guys bringing me on and everything. Like I said, it's really hard nowadays to find people that are this nostalgic about the 90s. Everybody's just like, oh, the 90s have passed, now we're in the, no, man, you can still live in the past and reminisce and have great conversations. So again, thank you guys for having me on.
Man, no, we're it's our pleasure,
Absolutely,
man.
man.
Our pleasure for real.
It's our pleasure. Glad to
It's
have
just
you.
it's just fun, man. How this whole thing just kind of had it. I don't want to say it was thrown together when we started with it, but it was just an organic thing, man, to where we just kind of, we always would go back down memory lane and start talking about things we, did back in the day. And it always would go back to the base, the late 80s, 90s time frame, man. And then it was just like, okay, Xennials. I've been myself, I don't want to, I've been just fascinated with the term Xennial, right? Because, this isn't a generation show, but just to kind of give everybody like a background, like there's Gen X,
Yep.
right? There's a long period for that, and then there's freaking the millennials itself, and we are right in that freaking middle, man, to where we're like a 7 year period of people to where you have to be in that group to understand it, man. It's hard to fucking find, man. Excuse my language, but I'm a sailor by trade. Okay,
Yeah.
it's hard to find, man. So I just want to again, I want to beat a dead horse, but I appreciate y'all's company, man. And it's a beautiful thing we do it, man. We're gonna dive into this. We're gonna dive into this hardcore today, man.
Oh, for
We're
sure.
just doing a little fire starter now, so this is what it is, man. This is what it is. And just to bring up myself again, I stay in South Carolina. I'm from Georgia. Um, South Carolina is my home now. That's I've had many conversations with Malik about my new state. It's home, man. I'm not gonna get too far into it uh, right now, but that's the fire starter, man, and a little icebreaker. Um, You guys can we all have YouTubes. I'm your boy Tuck, your boy Brian 5150, and you got Malik Hendrix.
Yo,
Um, we're here. We're here. We all got pages, man. But we're gonna jump into Xennials Nostalgia. So first subject we're gonna talk about is the mixtape culture and burned CDs.
Ooh,
yes.
Woo!
yes. Facts. Facts.
Yeah, I'm gonna get hot on that.
Wow. Burn
But
CDs and mixtapes.
that was
Man.
that was life, man. That was huge. And even though, to be fair, the burned CDs kind of pushes into the to the early 2000s, but that's an overflow from the 90s. Okay, we
Yeah.
were just coming into our adult age, and our values were still came from there. We just poured into the new millennium and everything with that. But I'm gonna start with you, Brian. Mixtapes, but what do you think of when that's just mentioned itself? I think of burn parties we used to have. We all bring our CDs over. Man,
Yep.
let me get them CDs, man. I'm not gonna just buy that 100 CD uh
Yep.
disc for like $20
Yep.
and you good to go. That was
And
what it was. But what you
for
think,
me,
And
Brandon?
Office Max.
so for me,
Office
it
Max,
was
Office
like,
Depot.
it was like when like when we got into like high school and stuff like that. A lot of dudes were a lot of like listening to a lot of different stuff. Some of my buddies were listening to like a lot of West Coast hip hop. I was like Redman, Wu Tang, Common and stuff. And it just used to be we used to just make tapes for each other, toss them back and forth. Like, yo, I like that Snoop song. Can you put it on a tape with a bunch of other stuff? And then you would just toss back and forth with each other. And it was like, it was amazing. You had your own little spin on it. You might have had the tape, you might have drawn like a little logo, and like you'd start slinging them through school and stuff like that. And it was great, man. You opened up a lot of people's eyes to a lot of different music and everything.
Yeah,
So
very,
um,
very good.
the CD thing was more kind of towards the end of high school for me. It was like when Napster first came out, when you had them really slow CD burning programs and everything. It took you like 5 hours to make a CD, but as soon as it popped out of the disc changer and everything, like you were pumped. You ran home. You just like, yo, don't bug me for like an hour and a half, and you throw that baby into the CD player, right? And you just coast.
Yeah. No, I remember that, man. That is so true. Um, Malik, before I give it to you, I can remember like the whole mixtape thing. I can remember I was late on. We were from down south. Well, no, I wasn't late. Sorry, excuse me. I was early for. I heard Was it Juvenile? No, 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 no. Mystical, the rapper Mystical. I heard I heard of him early before he got hot because one of my neighbors was from New Orleans. He's like, yeah, this that dude Mystical, man, and then he got put, when he got put on with No Limit, and I kind of felt cool. I'm like, no, man, I heard that mixtape with Mystical, man. I already know who Mystical is. It was real
Yep.
cool, man. You can get a lot of that. Listen to a lot of these artists before they even really blow up through those
Oh yeah.
mixtapes, man. You know the right people. So
Oh man. Before we go, the one thing I couldn't stand was y'all remember them DJ Clue tapes?
DJ Clue, yeah, yeah,
The one thing I couldn't stand.
Blue.
You'd have a fire song like "Affirmative Action" by AZ, one of the most underrated rappers of the '90s with Dawes and stuff. You just
yeah,
start bumping the song, and all you'd hear is "Clue." Like it sounded like a
yeah.
pigeon going off in the background. Like I couldn't
Woo!
handle that. Yeah, Wu Kid, Craig
Yep.
G,
Premier,
yeah.
everybody, man.
Oh yeah, man.
Premier, DJ Scribbles, man. Red Alert.
Funk,
I'm talking about,
Funk Flex
man.
dropping the bomb in the middle of the song and stuff like that. So you get to like the favorite part of your song that Funk Flex has got. You just hear this bomb go off, and
Funk
you're like,
Flex.
"Yo, way to ruin the
K
song,
Slay.
bro."
Then you had K. God rest in peace, K Slay, man. Like K
Oh,
Slay put everybody in New York, man. Like he put everybody on, and he was putting everybody. I mean, you could be an A-lister, a B-lister. It didn't matter. Hip hop, graffiti, breakdancing. That was his stilo. And when he
oh yeah,
died, it's like it took a piece of New York because I'm from New York originally, man. So it took for and K Slade was a big deal. So it was kind of like when he died, it kind of took everything from New York, man. Like all the great aspects of what this man was doing for everybody. Like, because Clue, you had Premier, Green Lantern, man. You had all them kids, man, and they were nice. You had the Beatnuts, Kid Capri, man. You had the greatest, but it was just K Slade was the one that really was New York when it came to putting everybody on. Fashion, music. He had it all, man. Like, and I miss him, man. All the great iconics, man. They ghost. Damn.
Oh, I know, man. That's rough. Yeah, for me, it would have been like DJ Red Alert, K Slay, like you said, guys like even like Red Alert, the Beef DVDs. Watching the story about how KRS-One got put on by Red Alert being down in
Yep.
What was it, the Tunnel, and they kept playing South Bronx
the Tunnel.
over again. If it wasn't for Red Alert, we wouldn't have had like Boogie Down Productions. We wouldn't have KRS-One.
Exactly.
So
True.
Facts. That's very true. That's very, very true. So everybody in them times that came out of New York, man, was just ill, man, because they would just bring in not just the flavor, man. They were just bringing you a steeple of, okay, you got one of the greatest, you got the next greatest, but everybody that was great was all doing something for the culture. And that's when the culture was really when it was the culture. Like you said, when Red Alert, if it hadn't been for Red Alert, it would have been no KRS-One. If it hadn't been for K Slade, it wouldn't have been no 50 cents. It wouldn't have been, you know what I'm saying? It just wouldn't have been. He even, I don't know if you know Joe Secoria from Power. You know what I'm saying? He was in one of he from the Chi-Town. So, he was in one of K Slade's joint, man. What was it? The 50, was it the bars? I think it was 50 bars or something like that, man. Dope, man. Just dope, man. So I miss them days, man, especially New York, man, because that's when New York was really pumping, when you had everybody pumping. I'm literally mean everybody pumping, man. So
So
I miss that shit, kid.
Let me ask this.
That's why when I got to this Georgia shit, man, I was like, what are we doing over here?
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask this now. I like the space we're in here, and it's within the subject. So, and I'm gonna let you guys eat on this because I know you guys are gonna have some good input in this, man. I'm just the point guard. I'm distributing to y'all right now because y'all cooking, man. So in the 90s, man, we had East Coast, West Coast, the country cats from down south. That was like kind of the predominant. You had to choose somebody. I know even with us when we first got in high school, what I can remember is it wasn't really cool being a rapper from the South where we were at quite yet. But the question would always be, you with that East Coast or you with that West Coast? Okay. So now I want to get into it. I know you guys know all about it, know exactly what I'm talking about because that was a big deal back in the day, man. East Coast, West Coast. Boy, man, you could like a lot. You could like them all. You could like both of them, but you had to choose. So I'm gonna start with you, Brian. East Coast, West Coast, that whole beef. What was your take on it, man? It was a different time, bro. It was a different time back then.
So like I had to go. Well, I'm not saying I kind of more sentimental. I went with East Coast rap. So like growing up, being a kid of the '80s, of course, like everybody's parents, Dire Straits, Glass Tiger, all that stuff. My oldest brother, the first vinyl that man ever bought me was Run DMC's Raising Hell. About 5 or 6 years later, same, like, hanging out with my older brother, he puts a cassette into his car. NWA's Straight Outta Compton. I go East Coast, though, because my first record was from East Coast artists. So like once I hit grade 8, the Gravediggers was out. The Gravediggers was one of the RZA's projects, right? Then, you had Tang Clan, and I felt more with Toronto the way it was in the 90s when I was like earlier on into high school, Toronto was more of a mafioso kind of rap vibe to the city. So it was easier to more like lean towards guys like Nas,
Yeah.
AZ, Foxy Brown, Jay-Z, Fat Joe. Like, it was just so much easier
Brooklyn,
to for the music and the story. But if you wanted to like be at like a party, a backyard barbecue, you needed to bump that West Coast stuff because that was like the party music. That was the crowd pleaser. If you just wanted something to bob your head to, like boom bap and everything, East Coast was definitely the way to go. But I love both of them. But I'm more of an East Coast guy myself, you know?
East,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
East.
I like that.
Because
I
when
like
you look at places, when you look at the history of hip hop, man, it was real new. You know what I'm saying? So kids didn't really know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody knew about, or for the most part, people that knew about New York, man, they knew about the food and you know, the trains and the co-ops and the basketball courts and bodegas, man. You know, we knew about all that, but the music filtered everything. When you think of hip hop, when you think of Nas, Big L, Jay, you know what I'm saying? Then you think of, because everybody stood out from different boroughs, you know, and every borough in New York back then was jumping, you know, because the Bronx started it all. That's where I'm originally from, B. So the Bronx started hip hop like crazy, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, you had your KRS-Ones, man. Then you go further up, you know, you got your girl Mary J. That's from the YO, like that grew up with the locks and everything, man. Then you had X, but then you had cats back then when you had before Curtis Blow, man, you had Grandmaster Flash, you had Rakim, you know what I'm saying? You had Special Ed, you know what I mean? You had Slick Rick, man. You had LL was bumping in Queens, man. Then you had the Supreme Team, you know what I mean? And you had Nas. And I don't know if you knew about the Juice Crew, you know, because they all came from the same projects in Queens. Then you had DJ Marley Barr. Matter of fact, was the one that put Roxanne Shante was the one that put Roxanne Shante on because they lived in the same building. And then you had Nas, you know what I mean? And then I remember Nas, I was watching, it was a movie or something on Roxanne Shante. And there was a kid that was Nas that came up and he asked her, how was her style? And she was like, yeah, you good. Your style is nice, son, but, you know, keep working on it and stuff like that. So, you know, when you had Nas, man, you had Big L, man, you just had cats, man, that just literally lyrical. That was just mad lyrical. And when you think of that, you think of Timberlands, you think of Slices, Bubba Bear joints. You think of sitting on the stoop, you know what I mean? You think of everybody being outside, man, like the kids was not inside. When you think about New York, you think about the courts, Soul on the Hole, BK. You know what I mean? You're thinking about everything. You're thinking about Ruckus, man. You know, I mean, everybody. You're thinking about who else? Because my mother, man, she grew up in New York, and she grew up. Earl knows this. She grew up went to school with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, man. They were really good friends. So, you know, it was just everything in New York was just an epiphany. You know, the West Coast you had the West Coast cats that came out, but it was just all about storytelling. And I always thought that, you know, it was all about storytelling. Like, then you had Big and then you had Pop. And I remember back in the day being out here, man, who's better? I think Pac is better than Big. I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of on that bandwagon because I always thought Big was nice because like when you think of Big, you think, especially Brooklyn, you thinking of Project Stoops, man. You know, you thinking everything, Timberlands, everything, man. Like, but Pac was just different because he had a whole lyrical frame from his mother being in the Black Panthers, you know what I'm saying, and having that culture. And then it just expanded. And I was, honestly, now I think about it, I thought both of them was great. They just had two different styles. And I don't think a lot of people that, especially down south, they didn't really know about lyrical styles like that. You know, they weren't thinking about that lyrical content.
Nope.
But if you ever notice, though, down south rappers were actually financially more stable than a lot of the big name East Coast rappers, because where the East Coast rappers did have the lyricists and everything like that, a lot of the down south dudes, they all owned record stores. They knew their retail. You know, they could go out and they could throw like 100 units into the back of their car, pull up, bump the music, they're making money. Whereas a lot of these East Coast dudes and a lot of the West Coast dudes, they're having to go to Def Jam, they're having to go to, just to get their stuff played. Whereas a dude from the South, it was like, all right, look, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna sell 1,500 units today because they knew their retail, right? But I found that every genre of hip hop, there was always a success to it. The down south knew the retail, West Coast knew how to storytell. New York, like Malik said, New York started it all, man. Like you couldn't get better than that, right? So
so true. And with the you made me think of Master P. I know with the No Limit Soldiers, man. He started.
Them No Limit guys were putting out albums like every 3 days, dude.
Bro, all the time, man. And I ain't gonna lie to you, man. They used to make fun of me. I had a fake No Limit Soldier chain on my.
I had the No Limit jersey, yo. I had the No Limit football.
But back then nobody didn't even care about that because it was such a great movement from. And I started looking. I'm like, West Coast, East Coast, down south, Midwest, like everybody was jumping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like everybody was really jumping. It was that sound. It was that momentum. It was that, okay, when you in New York, you get up, you got the boom blaster walking down the block, and you know what I'm saying? You got, man, Grandmaster Flash, you know what I mean? You got them bumping with your joint on your one arm, just sliding down the bodega, man, trying to pick up a biddy, getting some shit, man. You know what I mean? It's just like, that was just New York was just that city for that, man. It was just for that. Same thing with LA. LA was the thing too. Them cats had 6'4"s, and you had palm trees, man. You had Jerry curls, man. You had cats, man, doing, you know what I'm saying? Because New York, we had Kangos and Adidas, man. Russell Simmons, man, put us on, with all that, with the fashion, man. And that's what Fat Farm, and then, you had Rockaware. That's what Jay's shit. I think Jay just came with the Rockaware because he saw that it was what Diddy and Russell were doing. You know what I mean? They were just really doing it, man. And you just had a lot of great artists. You had MC Search. You know what I'm saying? You had the Beastie Boys, man. Rick Rubin, man. I mean, them Queens dudes, man. Queens gets the money. Like and I was telling somebody, every artist that I knew that came out of New York, Queens was it. Because they just had every artist, Cormega, Nas, AZ, I think is from Brooklyn. I think AZ is from Brooklyn. And who else you had? You had 50 Cent. Then you had LL, then you had the Juice, then you had the Juice Crew, you had the Supreme Team, you know what I mean? So you had everybody, man. Everybody that was coming out of New York them days was just, it was so recognizable because the storytelling was basically just kids growing up from the PJs. Then you go over across the water to Staten Island, you know what I mean? You got the Woo, you got Killer Army. You got Park Hill. That's where the Woo's at. Then you got Stapleton. And the thing is, because a lot of them cats from the Woo's from Brooklyn. Because I don't know if y'all know this, like Flavor, the RZA, the GZA, and ODB, they're all related.
Yep.
They're all cousins. They all related, man. So you had Ray, the chef, shouts out with the chef and his new album, man. That new album is a banger. That new album, The Emperor's Clothes, that shit is a banger. And they all started from Brooklyn, then they moved out to the island. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was just pumping. Like I'm with Brian on that one, man. It was just East Coast, and then coming from the East Coast originally, that's all you're gonna know. So I couldn't really know cats from the West Coast unless cats was playing stuff like that from in New York, man, which you still had a lot of play. Because Straight Outta Compton was really, NWA, before Pac came, those were that was the beginning of the staple for LA. But then when you had New York, you had everybody. You know what I mean? You just had everybody coming out, man. Everybody DJing, everybody battle rapping, everybody's graffiti, everybody breakdancing, man. Everybody having block parties and shit, man. Like live shit. You know what I mean? That you can't get anywhere else.
And it's funny, I'm holding my hand over my mouth with this big smile for one of the guys that Malik had said, MC Search. I shit you not, driving home yesterday, I was listening to Back on the Grill.
Dang.
Like Back to the Grill is one of my favorite MC Search songs, man.
That is wild. I'm gonna bring up something like today now.
Nas was in that as a young MC.
I'm gonna bring up something. So when you guys are listening to music today, now, like in the car, I'm not because I'm gonna tell you about myself. I don't listen to the radio. No. Never. 0% of the time I listen to radio. I get music out of my iTunes. I literally have a 90s, 2000s long list. That's what I play, man. That's what I play. What was I listening to yesterday, man? I think I was listening to I think it was probably what was one of the songs? Bone Thugs and Harmony. I think I was hitting, man. I was East 1999. Yeah.
Oh, Eternal. Oh, wow.
Eternal. Yeah, man. Like that's what I listen to in the car. I listen to the stuff back to when I go to the gym. I go from that list too. Like I got 3-6 Mafia. I'm probably naming down South groups because that was my thing for a little while, man. And then the Atlanta crew with the T.I. and Ludacris, and it was a little bit later in time. You know what I mean? They came a little bit afterwards, where it got popular in the late '90s.
Well, Luda's from the Chi-Town. He originally from Chicago.
You're right. Yeah, He moved. He's a transplant. He's a transplant now.
It's just saying he's a transplant, just like Bow Wow's a transplant. Bow Wow from Ohio as well. When he moved to Cali with Snoop and them, he got down with Snoop and them, and then I think his mom ended up bringing him down to Atlanta.
Yeah, and he ended up and didn't leave. Right? I think he stayed, didn't he? If I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
He ended up staying.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So before we end this topic, man, I want to crap on the music today. I want to know what y'all think about what do you think about this genre today, man? And it's like, this is, to me, I'm gonna tell you just real quick with me, dog. This is the worst it's ever been, man. It is absolutely terrible to me right now, man. It just makes me want to throw up when I hear a song in 2025. What do you got? Let me get y'all's take real quick, and then we'll move on to the next.
Man, I'll put it to you like this. I'm the one who controls the radio in my car. If I hear these weird talking about on Xanax, I'm throwing your phone out the window. Once my kids because I've got an 18-year-old, I've got a 10-year-old, and I've got a 5-year-old. Once they hit the age of 5, the first thing I give them is Enter the 36 Chambers by the Wu-Tang Clan. Then from there, it's on to Common and stuff.
The first joint.
I hear this new stuff now. Like, I mean, Little Xan. Like, what's a Little Xan? Little Windex? Like, man, I'm telling you, that stuff gets no play in the car.
None. I hear that.
Horrible.
Hell yeah.
And that was the first album. That was the first joint, man. Protect Your Neck. That was my joint, man. Like that. I mean, the Wu was just. I mean, did you guys ever?
Yep.
Did you guys ever watch the Wu Saga?
Love that show. That was great.
Yeah. Dope, man. Dope.
It's funny for me. Everybody's first Wu-Tang Clan song was "Protect Your Neck" or "Cream." Mine was actually "The Mystery of Chess Boxing." That video for "The Mystery of Chess Boxing," that was the craziest
that shit was wild.
I've ever seen, man. Whoa, that was wild.
Yeah. One last
that shit was stupid lit, man. That shit was live, man.
I am interested in this. What do you got? Today's, and this is kind of funny. Y'all gonna laugh at this. Today's Tupac Shakur is in popularity, I would say, with a lot of maybe under 30 people, under 30s, what is probably like Kendrick Lamar. What do y'all? And I'm smiling, right? Because I know he's decent, man. But I'm not all on board. I'm not on board with the guy really. And maybe I'm biased. I don't know. I don't give the guy much. What do you guys think of Kendrick Lamar, man? I'm just curious.
I mean, legit. I mean, I'm not a Drake guy. I think Drake is really fake. That started from the bottom. I'll let you guys in on a little secret. he didn't start from the bottom. Years ago, he actually lived on the same street as a couple of my friends did in Toronto, and they lived up in Royal York, Eglinton, which is a nice, well-off area.
Mm-hmm.
Kendrick, I like Kendrick because he still holds a little bit of that, like that boom bap. He still holds a little bit of that conscious, like rap and stuff like that. And I mean, I'm sorry, man. Meet the Grams was probably more vicious than like No Vaseline, Hit 'em Up. Like those songs were wild for our days when they were insulting people.
Yeah.
But like Meet the Grams, I mean, it took me 6 times to get through that song because I'd stop every time and I'd be like, there's no way he just said that. No way, right? But like, I mean, the diss tracks for us were a lot different, like now when they kind of reach back the layers on it and stuff. But Kendrick, Tupac, nah, but I'm gonna say though, for a guy that is real lyrical and actually like raps about stuff that isn't nonsense, I'd say Kendrick's up there.
Okay.
Like I would think he's up there.
That's fair. Malik, what you think about Kendrick Lamar? Malik, you hear me? Uh-oh, not gonna. Malik.
I think you got the.
Let's see.
Yo.
Oh, you there? Okay.
You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now, dog. Hey, what do you think of Kendrick Lamar?
Yeah. Y'all can hear me? Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So the question was,
you said, what do I think of Kendrick?
Yeah, what do you think about him?
Oh, nice all around, man. Like, I mean, I look at Kendrick like I look at Nipsey. You know what I mean? Like, you just had. I like Nipsey.
I like Nipsey. Yeah. I didn't learn about him till after I didn't learn about him till after he passed. I'm embarrassed to say that, but it's true.
Oh, same here with me, man. Yeah, like same with me. I didn't really learn about him until he had that one song that was in one of the 2K games, and then I kind of started getting into him and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think we lost Malik.
He'll probably come back on here in a second. Give him a second.
All right.
Yeah. Malik. Let me see. Let me see if he texts me real quick. One moment, Malik. Yeah, he should still get back on. I'm gonna give him a couple minutes and I'll send him another link. Matter of fact, let me see if I can send him get him back in here.
Oh yeah.
Just a second. Let's see.
Oh yeah, man, no problem.
Hey, there we go. Shoot that out to him. All right. Cool. All right. So if he's back already, man. Okay. Adam will stay. All right, he's back. Oh, there you go. Abracadabra. He's back. Malik Hendrix is back in the house.
Back in the house. Houdini ain't got nothing on me.
Nothing on him. He's back in here. All right, man. That first topic.
Not to cut you off. You asking me about Kendrick?
No. You had answered it already. No, we're moving on to the next one now, man. That first topic was fine.
Oh, okay.
That was pretty cool, man. That was fun. That was a fun trip down memory lane, man. I want to move to we're gonna talk about this is kind of this will be cool. We survived school without Google. And it'll probably take us back into school a little bit because if you think of life nowadays, man, you're using Google every single day of your life now. If you really think about it, you know what I mean? And for just different things. So I guess you roll back into the 90s. We didn't have that. So we actually had to, I would say, use critical thinking skills to figure some stuff out, man. I think that we might be lacking that today of that because it's just a touch, like Brian said earlier, convenience. Convenience is really, that's one of the biggest advantages of today from back then. But you can use like even going to the library. I mean, you had to go in a card catalog, man, and look for what you're trying to find. You couldn't just everything's electronic now. Hey, where's the book? Do 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 do. They'll pull it up. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Um, I don't know, man. What do you think about that?
I kind of we Mama Dukes just sent a message saying hardcover encyclopedias were our Google, the library was our Google. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. Hey, I didn't have my thing up. Let me shout out to Mama Dukes. What's up, Mama
Mom
Dukes?
Dukes,
What's
Mama
up, Mama
Dukes was
Dukes?
good. You got
Yeah,
you a
no,
fine young, you got you a
Yeah.
fine young gentleman for a son, Mama Dukes. Good peoples, man. You raised a good man, Mama Dukes. Word is bond.
Mama Dukes.
but yeah, no, man, like I agree with her 100%. If you had a school project or anything done, you were hitting them encyclopedias or you were spending like $2.50 in late charges at the library just to get the books you needed.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Straight
yeah.
up, man. Mom Dukes mentioned, like you had just said, the hardcover encyclopedias were our Google. That
Oh yeah.
damn sure were. They were. My parents still got encyclopedia, man, from A to Z, man.
Hmm.
you had to open them things. That's true. You had to open that stuff up if you want to find something out. They tell you.
Yep.
You better open up that encyclopedia and look it up.
Oh yeah.
Look it
We're
up, man.
missing is the critical thinking because we're letting computers do our work for them, for
Yeah.
us. You know what I'm saying? When back then we didn't have that. We had to actually do the work ourselves. And I think once technology played the part came into play,
Yeah.
Yep, 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 yep. Malik.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, there he is. I know Malik's coming back here. I know he's in. Mama Dukes just mentioned instant gratification is killing brain cells. The days of doing hard thinking to figure stuff out is gone. I
it was
oh,
gone.
couldn't agree more.
oh
Couldn't
yeah.
agree more, Mama Dukes. Yeah,
Heck yeah.
couldn't agree more. Malik, go ahead, man. Go ahead. If you had some more to
Well,
add to that.
well, I just wanted to add on to what you were saying, man, because it was like, all the critical thinking, it just went out the window when technology came in. And the thing about it is, that's why I don't like really relying on technology because of critical thinking. When I was taking my driver's test last year, they were like, "Yo, you could use the screen." Like, why? I'd rather just do it old school and learn how to back it up. Because number one, I don't have a whip that has a machine to use it, and number two, that's going to throw me off because you're not used to looking at something to back in. I mean, yeah, it's convenient, but critical thinking never goes nowhere, no matter what century we in, no matter what planet we on. You still have to think because the way I look at it is what happens when technology goes. Then you're gonna have to go right back to critical thinking. So I don't think critical thinking ever left. I think it left a lot of people, but I think the people that ever had critical thinking, we still had it. I think it's just the convenience with technology and I mean, I get it. You could push a button and be like, "Hey, what part of Canada were like royal Canadian mountains? You want a history on that?" And boom, you can just look that up instead of going to the library and picking out a book and really actually thinking and doing the work and putting in the work. And I think once technology came in, we didn't have to put in that much work. But I still like to put in that much work because we were raised with it. We didn't have technology like that, and the fact we didn't have technology like that critical thinking stayed for us forever. But don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna sound hypocritical. There's things like shots out to Chat GPT. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll be using that like heavy to find
Oh yeah.
out anything that I need to find out. And it's kind of
Yeah.
like, but you know what? That's cool because I have a balance. I'll find that out from them and I'll still do my research by going to the library and picking out a book. Because a book is just as viable as a computer chip.
Yep.
Very true. Very true. I think chat, it's true, man. It's true. I think chat is good if you use, like, for instance, man, I use it a little bit for school, a little bit. I wrote a paper. I'm in a social welfare class right now,
Yeah.
and just to get me a baseline, you know what I mean? Okay, it need the structure. I look at something like, okay, now I'll put my ideas together with it. So it helps. It helps, man. But you know, if it, like I said, like Malik had said, it's got to be a balance. It's got to
Yeah,
be some balance with that, man. Because if not, man, it's it just is what it is, man. I think a lot of well, I'll say this too. And I've noticed this being a 44-year-old college student now, online and everything. A lot of these young college kids, they're lazy, man. Um, man, a lot of them can't spell worth of shit. A lot of them they're lazy. Um, they don't like they like stuff being spoon fed to them. I noticed, man. And I mean, I was a college student at once too. When I was appropriate actual age. I'm just lucky. I'm using my old GI Bill now to go back. Um, it's fun watching some of these younger people. There's some people my age in there too, but it's fun watching some of them and how they look at things and how they think. Matter of fact, you can also even look up. There's a website called Rate My Professor. You can look at how strict the professor is, and there's some people that will, if they got a low, 2 out of 5 or 2.1 out of 5, they will be like, all right, I'm canceling this class because their reviews are low. It's crazy. I'm like, wow, man. Like back in my day, like our day, if you got a teacher, that's who you got, man. You stuck with it. You better figure it out.
Yep.
So let me ask you this.
Like that. My daughter got a math teacher last year. She was like, "Oh, can we try to change it?" I'm sitting here like, "You better figure it out." That's what I said. You better figure it out because that's life.
So let me ask you this: what would you say is more if you had to apply, if you got your life right now and you had to apply everything else from you doing, like let's just say from now to finish, what would you say be more effective? And would you say learning the old way in the 21st century be more effective, or would it just be computers? Because when you said spoon fed, see, we weren't spoon fed this. It's our generations that were spoon fed because it's their generation. But but for us living in their generation, what would you say would be more effective? Would honestly be more effective?
That's a good question, man.
That's
a good question.
You know what? It kind of goes back to one of the earlier episodes when you guys were talking, like when we were talking about toys and stuff like that, right? They don't make toys like the old one. I feel the old style way of learning would still be more effective because once computers crash and you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna be like, oh man, what do I do? What do I do? That whole way of learning, you're always gonna be able to adapt to it because if you can read, then you just, pick up a book. How do I do this? Exactly. Oh, okay, perfect. You know what I mean? So, I still, like you said, I'd be a little bit of a hypocrite. I use Google the odd time. I use Chat GPT the odd time, but I do find myself still kind of like going back to like books and everything like that. When I'm cooking dinner at my house and I want to do something fancy, I won't hit Google for the recipe. I still have my composition books from when I was in school. I'll bust those out and I'll read my crappy handwriting just to get it down the old-fashioned way,
Yeah.
So I still think the old one would be good.
I use this is my notebook for school. I write notes still. I do, man. I feel it. I feel that. Yeah,
I'll give you one. I'll match you. I bet you two.
I write my notes down.
And I'll raise you too. This is my notebook for everything because I think with I think with technology,
we're Xennials, man. We're Xennials.
Right. Because I think like what Brian was saying, like, and is like I always said, Earl, like and I tell people this too, if technology crashed, what would you do? What would you honestly do? Like honestly, what would you do? How could you fend? That's why I always love the Native Americans, man. Them cats didn't have technology even to this day. It's 2025. If the motherfuckers want to go to the rivers to go catch fish, they can still go do that shit because they had that concept forever. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that never changed. That's like the Amish. Like the Amish changed over the years, but in the beginning, like in the 90s, the motherfuckers were still riding with horses and carriages and dressing how they have the Amish joints, man. Like if you watch that movie, what was it, Signs? I think it was Signs, where they were living in the woods, but you think that was an Amish community. But then when Shorty had to walk, she was blind or something. She had to walk to go to the to get some medicine for I think one of the family members. There was a scene where she came on the main road and there was cars, and that shit threw me off because I really thought that was still the Amish times.
That was the
I'm sorry, I told you the wrong. I think it wasn't Signs. It was The Village. Thank you. My bad. It was The Village. My bad. Not Signs. I don't know why I was thinking of Signs. The Village. That's why I was. Thank you, Brian. It was The Village. So when you watch that movie, you thinking like, okay, these cats are living, but you don't even know. See, what was so great about that movie? They didn't tell you what year it was. They just told you like, yo, we the Amish. This is what we doing. We don't have to. We sustain all our shit. You know what I'm saying? But then when they saw Shorty walking to the road and they saw that car, she was fucked up because she even in that time didn't even know that there was cars. It was kind of like you see those end of the world movies, man, where they tell you if you climb to the top, you can get radiated. Yep. So you got to stay down, and so you can be safe. So it's like, you know, it was crazy, man. How life really works in so many different levels of how somebody lived from the traditional ways to the ways that they live in now. And I think what computers have to understand, you can never take those traditions out. I mean, convenience is good, but how is it good when we can't pick up a book and read instead of just pushing a button? Now, if you in the kitchen and you trying to chef up something and stuff like that, and you got your old, like you said, books and everything, depending on the timing, because I think that's what computers is really just timing. It's really just all about timing. Like when we had timing for ourselves to be able to do all the things we could in the 90s, but it was so acceptable and it was so integrated. But because we live in the 21st century and we live in where the millennials are, and you look around and you see everybody on their phone, I'm like, damn, you can't even have a conversation with your shorty. You rather be on the phone? I'm sitting here like, this shit is bugged out, man. Excuse my language, but it's bugged out. Because all technology to me is taken away from human values, like talking on the phone. Nobody don't talk on the phone no more. Nobody don't do that no more. Sitting with your family having dinner. Nobody don't do that no more. Only like-minded people do that because we never lost our values and our ways.
Actually, that is no matter what it is, Monday through Sunday, that is a rule at my house. You do not bring your cell phone to the dinner table. You sit down and you have I still... this day, I still instill that, you know.
That's great. That's dope.
That's what's up.
That's real, man.
That's
is
dope.
So real. That is so real.
And it's kind of like that at my pop's house. We like that too.
Yeah.
That is very real. Real shit, man.
It is. I think it's.
And I think that's what kids need to understand. Like, okay. Huh?
I'm sorry. I was gonna say.
Go ahead, Earl. What you saying? No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What you saying, brother?
I was gonna say we're the last generation, really sub generation, Xennials, that lived that had well, how can I say this? We had the before internet life as children and teenagers. When we became young adults, that's when we came into. So we are the most versatile people on this earth, man, as far as having seen both sides, man. Even a lot of the millennials didn't see all the older things that we saw back in the day. So it's like, I think that's one of the reasons, you know, when we're talking to guys that are in our 5 to 7 year age frame, it's such a special thing because there's a small amount of us that can relate to this stuff, that we think like us, and just been through how we grew up and been through what we've been through. So it's a cool thing, man. And there's a subject like this, it opens it up, man. I want to read Mom Dukes in the chat, man. Mom Dukes, all computers need to be, feed that info initially, and having to search for the information manually still instills a sense of discipline and pride. Absolutely.
Yep. Absolutely.
You're right, Mom Dukes.
Yeah, I think that's an outstanding point. That's an outstanding point. It
Shout
does,
out to
man.
Bob Dukes.
Shout out to
It
it, man.
does.
That's a great point because even when I'm reading a book now, man, and I'm just kind of relaxed and looking at it, it's a different feeling, man. It does kind of
Mhm.
give you, you know, you instead of, you know, on the phone or whatnot, man. So that's a great point. I think it's such a true thing. Um, the next this is really the we've actually already tied in the next subject with this one, which is basically this is close to the same thing, man. I probably should have all just dogged it together, but basically before smartphones made us dumb, it kind of goes with the Google thing. So we're kind of talking about that now. You can do everything on the smartphone, you know, like Brian was talking about earlier. You can literally, you know, oh, I want to go out. I want to eat out today. Okay.
Yep.
Have
You
it at your front door in 30 minutes.
Yeah, like you don't even need to call to even like talk to them no more, man. You just boom, pay for it, everything. Just tell them, yo, leave it at my front door.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yep.
You can eat anywhere in the city pretty much.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know, like I said, a DoorDash, you know, my after retirement gig, DoorDashing, I'll be the person, you know, goods and services. I'll pick it up and, you know,
Yeah.
that's convenient to me too. But it's wild though, man. You know, my kids do it too, man. With the, you know, who ordered the DoorDash today? Oh, I did. Oh, okay. You know, it's funny. It's a
Oh yeah.
funny thing, man. And I just couldn't imagine having that back then as a kid, man. Just with it sounds like some Jetsons shit to me, man. Oh, Elroy, do you order some food? You know, spaceship come with your food. It feels like we in a, you know what I'm saying? If we said something like that in 1995, that you can have some device that's like a computer and just say, "Hey, I want to get McDonald's today," and it come to your door, you know, we would think we would think that person need to get their head examined, probably. I mean, what do y'all think about this stuff?
Man, I remember my so my daughter was having a sleepover and she wanted to order pizza and everything like that. And she comes up to me, she goes, Dad, can you order pizza for me? I looked at her, I said, you know how to use a phone, right? She goes, yeah. I said, call the place and order it yourself. I said, that's what I used to have to do. I said, if I didn't do it, your grandmother would not give me any pizza. She comes back 5 minutes later. She goes, hey, Dad. She goes, I ordered pizza. It'll be here in 25 minutes. I look at her and I go, I didn't hear you on the phone. She goes, well, yeah, they've got an app. And I'm just like, you're taking half the fun out of ordering the pizza. You're just sitting there like, ridiculous, like even the smallest thing of just like even ordering food, that's still that one thing that we're still missing is that interaction with other people. I mean, yeah, you're
Yeah,
calling and saying, hey, give me a pizza with pepperoni and like whatever on it. The fact that you're still interacting with another human being is what's important, and it's what the world's missing. Now it's just like she said, she can just sit there and like, boom, there's my pizza, there's my wings, there. Oh, it'll be here in like 25 minutes and it's paid for. Like, it's ridiculous, man. We've lost
yeah,
the art of conversation no matter what it is nowadays.
absolutely. Well said, Brian. Malik, what you got to add on to that?
Absolutely. I agree with Brian, man. I think it's taking a lot out of communication. I mean, people can't communicate out here in the world as it is anyway, but the people that actually communicate like us, you know what I'm saying? And then especially when you guys got kids, because I'm a single man, so I don't have any kids. I just have nieces and nephews and stuff. But I think he's right, man. I think technology can only go as far as it should or as it can. Because I
Yeah,
think once you start relying more on the education, more on technology, you start relying less on human interaction.
yeah,
And I think that there's got to be some kind of a median to where, okay, you can still do stuff on a computer, but at the same time, you still need to go to a library. And I want to see you go pick this book out, like library cards. Library cards used to be a big thing. You go to the library, if you want to go check out a book, you had to use a library card. Nowadays, you don't even got to do that. You just have to have a library card to be able to go check out books, which that hasn't really changed a lot, but it's just like I just miss the old-fashioned ways that we grew up. It's because of how we grew up and the times we were in. So it's kind of like we didn't lose out on anything. You know what I'm saying? I think when technology just came and spread like a wildfire, I think they had good intentions, but I think the intentions was not what they were expecting, because I was telling a story, Brian. I think I told you this, Earl. One morning I went to this. I don't know if y'all got this in Canada, the Whataburgers. So
No.
I went to Whataburgers. They all don't have it. Okay, it's a burger. It's a burger joint / they got breakfast in the morning. They got really good breakfast. But I go there to order one day, I think before I went to my second job, and there was 4 couples. It was 2 sitting on one side, and there was 2 sitting on the other side. And I just happened to look over, and I seen 2 that was sitting on my right. The husband and wife sat down, and they didn't have nothing to say to each other. They started pulling out their phones. I'm like, really? But then I look over to the left, and I looked over the human interaction with the other husband and wife, and it was all day. It was all good all day and every day, man. Like, they were sitting having conversations. I mean, I wasn't trying to ear hustle to see, but I was just watching visually that, okay, I'm glad. I'm looking at the 90s over here, but then I'm looking at the 21st century over here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, in the middle of that is just chairs and walls and stuff like that. And it kind of separates.
Yeah.
And it's like, if we don't have that human interaction, if we lose that, I don't know what's going to happen, because, you know, you still have to have interaction. You can't always rely on computers, man. That's just me. You know, I mean, there's certain things I can rely on computers, like YouTube and stuff like that, because it's a platform, you know, stuff that's important, that's going to help you in life. But at the same time, you never want to lose what you were given when we were younger. And I think a lot of people out there really not under the technical people. There's so much on, oh, well, you got to have iPhone 12 or iPhone 13. They're not thinking about, well, why don't you just have a regular phone, like a car, like a point A to point B to get you somewhere? You don't have to have all this. But I think it's so ingrained of technology. I think technology is having a lot of people and a lot of minds not rewired. They still living on, oh, well, we have technologies. Okay, so what are you going to do if it crashes? Oh, I don't know. I might go do this. But that's not practical. What's practical is giving your God brain that gave you a brain to use it. You know what I'm saying? Technology can't do that. They can't replace a human body. They can't replace human feelings or you know, anything that's positive from human beings. And I think the 90s were the greatest because there was so much human interaction. You couldn't get no better than that. And I think where technology just came, I think it just messed a lot of stuff up, and it's still messing a lot of stuff up, because now you have to rely on computers. When people always be like, Malik, you don't have online banking, or you don't go online to do this, like, for what for? If I can't talk to you face to face, I don't want to go online, because I got questions that's not going to be able to answer. And they're like, oh, yeah, that's true and everything. Fuck you mean that's true? Excuse my language, but you're not using your sense that God has given you, which is common. You know what I'm saying? And it's just sick, man. It's really sick. I mean, don't get me wrong. Technology is good for what it can be used for. Like what we're doing, we're using it for goodness. You know what I'm saying? Like back then, if anything, I wish we kind of had a YouTube to where we could do something like this and interact. But human interaction was even better back then, because you were able to do that. When I remember people talk about, I got 1,000 friends on Facebook. I'm like, you're a damn lie. You barely probably had 1 or 2 friends. How do you got 1,000 friends? You don't know that person that live in Afghanistan. You don't know that person that live in England or live in, it's just crazy, man. It's just really out of control, crazy.
Bro, I got 1,500 friends. No, man, you probably got about 5. The other 995 are either bots or just them dudes that sit in front of the computer all day just to mess with you. You know what I mean? Right? Like, come on, man.
Fact, man. That is so true, man. Yeah. I'm gonna read the chat from Mom Duke. Mom Duke's added, the younger generation have been so desensitized to one-on-one contact. Can't blame COVID entirely. It's the convince the device provides for the parent of not having to always be present. Yeah. Gen Z is a bit of a me generation. Yeah, they are all about me.
Oh yeah.
I agree with that. wholeheartedly. 70s kids,
I
the
definitely agree
entire
with that.
neighborhood babysat them. Man, they're 70s kids. 80s kids were latchkey kids,
Yep.
left to our own devices. Yeah.
Mhm.
90s kids was the start of device parenting with the Game Boys and stuff. Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Oh,
Sit
for
them in
sure.
front of the TV or the game console. Yeah, Nintendo, Atari. Yeah.
Hmm.
As the devices got more
Sega.
sophisticated, the more desensitization started happening.
Yep.
Technology is a double-edged sword. Man, this is so well said. It
Oh, no
needs
doubt.
to be used with respect of the power. That is
Yep.
brilliantly said right there.
Yeah.
It can be used for like good or evil for real, man. It's got to be respected, and there's people that push that envelope, man, where you kind of dip into that evil side, man, and there's people that kind of use it for what it's for, like us. We live in our old ways, but we use technology, for the days to make some things easier and everything.
Yeah. What's that?
Um,
What's that saying? With great power comes great responsibility.
yeah, yep, with great,
Mm-hmm.
that's yeah, so true. With great power comes great responsibility.
Great responsibility. That sums
Now,
that up. That sums that
yeah,
up.
it sums it up very well. Now I
That
got to
sums
ask
it
you
up.
guys about something. I know there's cities in the states right now, about 5 cities, 5 or 6 cities, including Atlanta, Malik, that's got a self-driving car that you can call and have a driverless
Ah,
car come pick you
the
up.
ice,
I didn't even
the
know that.
ice riots in LA. The protesters were attacking the self-driving cars in LA during the ice riots.
Oh my gosh,
Oh wow.
that's
I
it.
see that. That was the
Now
wildest
you
shit
know
I've
when I
ever
went
seen
to
in my life.
Man, it was I'm trying to
now
think
I
of the
went to
name.
the I
There's
went
actually a name for that. It's a name. I'm trying to look up that. It's called Waymo One. You can
Yep.
go on Waymo One, call just like you're calling an Uber. That mother will come pick you up, and it's nobody in the car, bro. That's crazy. I will never ever use that service, man. Ain't no
nah
way, bro. I don't
because
care
remember
how
remember
sophisticated this stuff get, man. I am not just
remember
gonna
I
be
think it
in a
was
car with nobody driving
wasn't
that
it like
thing, man.
wasn't it like Tesla or something, man? Or was it Tesla? Somebody had their cars driving by something and actually killed somebody. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And I go to Quick Trip last night. I go to QT last night to get gas, and I see this little machine just rolling around by itself like it's its own buffer machine. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty interesting, but how's it
Yeah.
going to help in the next 5 or 10 years? You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy how uh, we living in times where you got cars driving themselves, automated cars. Hey, how you doing? Where would you like to go today? You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy how they got this stuff, man. I mean, it's cool, but it's just I
The
don't know if I
Jetsons.
want to trust that because what if God forbid, man, that car gets malfunctioned and then you going off, God forbid, going off bridges, man, like you gone in 60 seconds, like you Nicolas Cage, and you not
Right.
even driving. You know what I'm saying? Like you just out there just sitting in the car that you can't even get out the car. And if you know you try to get out the car, you done, you out the game. So it's crazy.
Cars are
It,
getting
it's
stuck.
so
We're going,
It's
funny.
crazy how
we're
they
going
got
off a
stuff
bridge
going,
into the
man.
water.
Right.
You make it up,
Right.
man. You can't make this up. I mean,
It's
seriously, man. Think about it. A car is just. I would freak the fuck out, man. Excuse my language. I got some car just coming up in my driveway, coming up to my house. I'm like, well, who in the hell is this? Who's this? I don't know this person, and nobody's there. And this car,
Are
I
you Earl Tucker? Your
I'm
ride is
freaked.
here.
I freaked out, man. That shit is freaking me out, man. Just like Mom Duke said, the ghost gig cars. Yeah, the
Yeah.
ghost gig like Patrick
Yeah,
Swayze and Ghost driving the car or something, man. Like
yeah.
what the
Oh man, where I live, we don't have them self-driving cars. They'd be self-driving pickup trucks. But out here, though, it's a little bit different. You're pulling into someone's driveway out here and stuff like that. You're either there for a reason or you're being greeted with a shotgun.
Yeah, I
Like I
believe.
live out, like I mean, I live in a small town of 5,500. Like I live in the
Okay.
country, you
Yeah.
know. I've had it before where we've had blackouts in our town, and I've had dudes pull
Oh,
into my
wow.
driveway. And my wife will be like, "Bri, are any of your friends supposed to be here?" And I'm like, "No." She'll be like, "Well, there's someone pulling into the driveway." I'll be like, "Go grab the 12 gauge."
Hell yeah.
You know what I
Hell
mean?
yeah.
Because especially out in a small town, because my town is so quiet. By 5 o'clock, you can't hear anything. You
Yeah.
know, so like it's easy to move, I guess, in silence, you want to call it, and kind of do that stuff. So being in a smaller, quiet town, you've got to be a little bit more like around your surroundings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, out here they'd be self-driving pickup trucks, and they'd be like, "Take me to the lumber yard."
Right.
I got something to build this weekend. I don't got time to wait. Go to the lumber yard.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. That's funny. That's real stuff, man. I feel that with the driveway thing, man, because even when I do DoorDash, man, I don't go nobody's driving unless the house is way back there and it's like a 50
Yeah.
yard driveway. I'll drive on it. But if it's just right there, I'll just pull aside,
Yep.
drop off and move on, man. That's usually how I do it with
Oh,
that,
for
man.
sure.
Yeah, so that was fun. That was a fun subject, man. The Mom Dukes, the Jetsons technology wasn't far off what became when we were kids. Yeah, it wasn't far off. You ain't lying. It wasn't. I love using that reference about the Jetsons, man. It's just because it's
For
just
sure.
like what's gonna be here 20 years from now? Can you imagine? Like I can't even imagine
Yeah.
what kind of stuff we're gonna have, man. It's wild. It is so wild. So next, I want to talk about late night TV, um, BET uncut type stuff. Like you had also what you had was another thing instead of Netflix. Also, you had like HBO, Cinemax. If you was in a household that had that, y'all was doing it. Cause I can
Oh, you were
remember some
balling.
of my friends coming over. Man, y'all got HBO? He was so excited. Now I'm like, yeah, man, we got Cinemax too, bro. We got all that. Oh,
We
that
have
was a huge deal.
so
Showtime, pay-per-view.
yeah. So in Canada, for us, it was called the Movie Network, and everything would have been
Okay.
like your HBO and your Showtime. And I used to love it because like you get the commercials for like the wrestling pay-per-views, and I'd call my buddies up and be like, "Yo, you want to come over and watch SummerSlam?" "What do you mean?" Be like, "I ordered it." "Y'all got cable?" And it's like, "Yeah, man, we got cable." You'd have the whole house, you'd have the whole neighborhood lined up outside your door. "Yo, can we just like pop right over the couch to watch it?" Like, yo, it was ridiculous back in the day, man. But yeah, if you had Showtime, Cinemax, HBO, the movie, you were balling. Like your
You were
family were
balling.
ballers, yo. You were the Trumps.
You were the Trumps. Yeah,
You were the
you
Trumps
were,
back.
man. Yeah. Oh my gosh, man. Oh yeah. Malik, what was your times with HBO and all that stuff, man? Did you
Man, I think HBO was the first thing I've ever saw.
yeah,
Because when I used to go to the movies a lot, I just remember that when HBO came out, they were so smart because they were the only ones at that time, and I think in history that has ever gotten movie theaters movies on the HBO after Blockbuster. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I went to Blockbuster first, and then
yeah,
after Blockbuster, we had HBO. And I'm sitting here looking, I'm like, wait a minute, I just saw this in the movie theater, man. You had
yeah,
Pastor 57, I wanted to go see. Drop Zone, I wanted to go, and all this reached the HBO. Die Hard, like all the great movies at that era in the early 90s hit HBO like a wildfire. Then that's when everybody else started seeing, like, oh man, I didn't know HBO was doing this, so let's come out with Showtime and Cinemax. Then
yeah,
Cinemax showed what Showtime was doing. So it was kind of like a chain of command because it was like
yeah,
HBO was the first ever only to ever have movie theater
yeah.
movies onto their home box entertainment. And
True.
everybody was going crazy. Hey man, I'm about to go. Did you see this on HBO? And that's when they came out with HBO Sports. You know what I'm
I used to
saying? With
watch
your man
that
Brian
too.
Gumble.
Brian
You
Gumbo.
know, I
Yeah.
mean, it just right.
Oh man.
I mean, this dude came out of nowhere. It's crazy, fellas, because money came out of nowhere. I'm like, Brian Gumble. I'm like, this dude was like the face of HBO and
Yeah.
HBO Sports, man, because
He was the face of it.
HBO was whoever came up. I'm gonna look to see who came up with HBO, man, because if it hadn't been for HBO, we wouldn't have Netflix, we wouldn't have Hulu, we wouldn't have Apple TV, we wouldn't have Tubi, we wouldn't have Roku. So HBO was the pinnacle and epiphany for all home movies. And when everybody else started coming along, it just kind of be like, because you remember HBO and Showtime and Cinemax, they will all have different movies from the theater. Like you might have Die Hard on HBO, but then you might have Rollerball on Showtime. And then Cinemax, you might have like my mom's favorite movie, God rest in peace, mom, shout out to Mom Dukes, Still Magnolia. That was one of her favorite movies, man. So you might have that on Cinemax. You know what I'm saying? Or you might have Sex of the City on Cinemax, but then you might have like the Ozarks and Breaking Bad, like on HBO and Showtime. So they kind of broke it all up on how they did it. Because I was like, why did I play HBO movies like Showtime movies on HBO movies? So I think that was the difference. Like they were trying to compete with, okay, the HBO pretty much, they got it all. We can't do shit. Sorry, excuse my language. But Showtime, we're going to come up with our own thing. And it was, for the longest, it was HBO and Showtime. And then Cinemax came out. And those were the three channels that were booming, which is why we have all these platforms now, which is crazy. But HBO was where it was at, man. And like that little ding, 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 you know what I'm saying? But you said with the old HBO, when you see that, then you saw the last HBO where they were going into the neighborhoods before it came out to be HBO. You know what I'm saying? Like that was special, man. You know, Netflix don't do that. All you hear is a don. That's it. That's all you hear is a don. Like you don't see no avenues or no areas or neighborhoods. I used to love seeing neighborhoods. Hey, if this was my people's house, that was his house. If you had to imagine, you know what I'm saying? But them cats weren't doing that. Like nobody else was doing that. But HBO was the epiphany of all movies, next to Blockbuster. Because once it went to the movies from Blockbuster and went from Blockbuster to the TV, because you know Blockbuster movies was always there, but for them to transition to TV, that was amazing because you could always still go to Blockbuster when we had VHS. If you couldn't have Blockbuster night, if it was on HBO, we'll just hit record and boom, get you a blank tape, record it, and that's where it was. Can't do that now.
And then that would be your hustle. If you had more than one VCR in your house, you dub the movie, and then you charge your friends like $2 or $3, and you'd sit there and you would do. I made a killing off of all the wrestling pay-per-views. The cats who couldn't make it to my house that night, give me $5. I'll have it for you the next day, and I would bring like Royal Rumble 1992 to like the school and start like just hand them out for my backpack and shit. It was wild, right?
That's for real. That's some real
stuff. Dope for that, man.
That's some real stuff.
It's funny.
That's some real stuff, man.
It's funny. I'm looking over in the chat. Mama Dukes gets it. Like first WrestleMania. Yeah. I like this one right here. Going back to like all the random people in your house. We noticed a couple on the couch. No one recognized. Come to find out they just saw it and invited themselves in. You had a lot of that happening back then.
I can see that.
So back then, you could actually do that.
Yeah.
Nowadays, someone walks into your house. Who are
they?
You?
Might.
Yeah. You know what I mean, man? It was so different back in the day. We could do that. And that last comment she put. Yeah, I had been caught watching Skinamax after dark a couple times myself too. Growing up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All the squiggly lines trying to get a glimpse.
If you adjust your eyes like this for 5 seconds, you'll actually get to see a boob.
Yeah.
And then you'll sit there like cross-eyed. You'll be like, I can't see it.
I remember when VCRs got hot, cats was blowing into VCRs like they were doing with video games. I remember, man, we would just, especially with VCRs, and we like, we'll take the end of the cartridge with the end part once over, and then it worked. You know what I'm saying? See, I miss those days, man, because that was a special. Even just for blowing on the game and in the VCR, it was a special moment because You wanted to see something so bad, we gonna find it. Damn it, we gonna find out how to make it work. And I think the whole generation in the '90s started doing that. We'll go to your man's career to play video games. Oh, it's hot, so we'll just blow it. Like, I mean, it was a culture behind that. It was a culture behind a lot of stuff that we had in the '90s. A culture within a culture. And it's just, I miss it because it's just not the same no more, man. It's never going to be the same. Like, I don't like this 21st century shit, man, honestly. I mean, I do, but I don't. I don't like it like a lot of people out here like, hey, man, are you on Facebook? Yeah. On Facebook? Right. What you mean? Yeah, you on Facebook? And I remember cats would be right down the street. You just seen them when you got out of school. And they'd be on Facebook, but you live right down the street. Hey, I'm on Facebook. Why don't you just come to my house? Why don't you just go to my house, man? Like, why do I need to talk to you on the computer when you 2 houses down from me when I can just go out the window and just go to your spot? So it's just different. It's just timeless stuff that even a little bitty is timeless stuff. Something like that was enjoyable because you had to put in work. You had to put in motion to be able to get to what you want to get. You can't do that no more because computers are doing it for you. And I don't even really like that idea because it's like it's taken away from, hey, man, I used to do this. Because to me, that would be lazy. You know what I'm saying? That's just for me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like if I can't go read a book, check out a book, or look in a phone book, but we can't look in the phone books no more because they did away with that. I remember we had to go to payphones, 25 cents, to look up, man, hey, let's look up this number, man. They used to have phone books on that little chain. They used to hang down and everything, man. Like, I miss those days. Like, I just miss everything about the 90s. Like, I see you got the A hat on now, B. You know what I'm saying? That was an old school A's, you know what I'm saying? A's joint, man. You know what I mean? Like, I remember back then when cats was living in Cali or just loving baseball teams, you could see stuff like that. Like, that's original. It's from the 90s, man. And probably before then. But now, you don't see that no more, man. You just see the same, oh, well, let's go online. That's our answer. Listen, AI was our answer.
next episode, because you like the old school, the Oakland A's hat. Next episode, we'll take a tour of Brian's closet, and I'll show you some of the throwback old school jerseys I have, too.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
I like that.
I still got, like, my Ray Allen jersey from when he played for the Bucks, when the Bucks were wearing green, purple, and white.
I remember them.
Well, yeah,
I still got that, man. You know, I've still got my Bo Jackson jersey from when he played for the White Sox. Like, Charlie, man, I got some crazy stuff, yo.
That's cool. That's
cool, what's up.
That can be another.
That is cool, man. I like that. See, I like that because when you look at stuff like that, when you gotta see, Brian, what you got is a whole collage, a time capsule, and I bet you the stuff that you got in your closet is still fresh and pressed like you got it the day before. That's how you do it, man. That's how you really do it. You take it to the cleaners, you put it in bags, you leave it hanging up, then when you wear it, you put it back in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Same thing with kicks. You wear kicks, you got a fresh pair of kicks, you put it back in the shoe box, and you put a towel over it to keep them fresh and put the shoestrings in your shoes, otherwise you look like a poop putt.
I'll be out for dinner with my wife and stuff at restaurants, and I'll have dudes come up to me. I'll have like a fresh Kirby Puckett jersey on.
Oh,
yeah.
like,
where'd you find that Kirby from? Like,
wow, Kirby Puckett. Wow.
I've had it from 10, 15 years ago. I still get, where'd you get that jersey? Rest in peace, man. Derek Thomas. I still have a DT jersey from when he played for Kansas City. Bro, where did you get that fresh jersey from? I'm like, yo, man, I got that years ago, and I still wear it, man. It's still fire, yo. These kids don't understand the retro jersey thing.
They don't, man. They don't. I got two things that I still kept, man. I wish I had some of them jerseys, man. I got a couple retro jerseys, but I still got two of my starter jackets, man. I got my old starter. I got my old Chicago Bulls. Yeah, I got my Chicago Bulls starter jacket still.
Is it the pullover with the big pocket in the front?
Not that one. I got the black one with the big old red bulls, and it got the bull in the back there, the black one. And the other one I got a
You should throw that back on.
Yeah, I got them down. I'll make sure.
You should go back to Rocket.
Oh, I still got it. I got them still, man. My wife's trying to get me to throw them away. I'm like, no, sir, no. And I got his.
No, man, we not doing that.
His Carolina Panthers one was pretty nice too, man. The colors were real where that light blue. It was one of
Yep.
the newer
That
versions, man.
turquoise joint.
Yeah,
Oh man,
yeah, that was fire, man.
that
I'm
was
gonna
the
read
throwback.
up on read Mom Dukes real quick.
Yep.
Instant replay in sports finally started developing better in the 80s. Yeah, that definitely true. Reruns of TV shows, waiting by the speaker, finger on the record button, waiting for the radio stations to play your favorite songs so you can
Hell
record
yeah,
them. Damn, that's a good one.
that's a good
That's
one.
a damn good
That
I'll,
one.
is a
That
good
I'll
one.
take it
is.
even back. I'll take it back even further. Y'all remember the Quiet Storm?
Yeah,
Yep.
Y'all remember
yeah,
the Quiet
yeah.
Storm?
I remember the
Yeah, the
Quiet
Quiet
Storm.
Storm. See, that's the only time I would
Yeah,
listen to the radio was the Quiet Storm next to V103, but it was the Quiet Storm because they used to play that real adult shit. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And it's like we don't even have the Quiet Storm. You be knocked out, you hear the little rain that this is the Quiet
yeah.
Storm. You know what I'm saying? Then you sleep even good just from hearing that. You know what I'm
Ain't
saying?
nothing
Usually
that.
people sleep good for hearing the rain, but you be sleeping nice when you hearing the Quiet Storm and you actually hearing the sound effects of that, man. It's just the 90s was just a pinnacle time, man. It was just pivotal to everything that we had experienced. Everything that we were supposed to experience, that was it. I don't know about this 21st century shit, man. Like this shit ain't it to me, man. Like it's really not. It's not the move. Excuse me
No,
for cursing, but it's just not the move, man.
No,
Cause
you're
I miss
expressing
the
yourself.
90s, yo.
I do too, man. I
Yeah,
definitely
I miss
do.
the 90s, man. When my mother, when Mom Dukes used to send me to go to New York, man, it was times, man, we'd be at the courts. You got the chain, you got the basketball court with the chain around it, man. You don't even have that stuff no more, man. Or if you didn't have the chain, you would just have nothing and cats were still shooting. You just have nothing but backboard and you got nothing but rim. See, they don't do that no more because
Nope.
everything's got to be fancy. Everything's got to be brand new. Everything's got to be 21st century, but you're still paying the name like you had 20, 40 some years ago. All of this is the brand name. And don't get me
yeah,
wrong, brand names are important, but I'm not going to be charging millions of dollars, man, over a horse on a
Yep.
car. You know what I mean? Like that shit is crazy.
What was
yeah.
my one kid came up to me and he's like, "Hey, Dad," he goes, "I want a pair of Jordans." I'm like, "All right, cool. I had Jordans growing up, whatever and stuff like that."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Which ones do
Yep.
you want?" He shows me the ones I had. I had
Jay.
them, the J5s, the grape ones. Love those ones, right? Yeah, man, no problem. How much are they? $600. I'm like, you better get a part-time job, bro. And like, no, back then, my time, J's were $150.
Yeah,
You had
yeah.
to beg your parents, and you had to do chores for months
Man, yeah.
just to get a pair. Now it's they like $600. It's like you better get a part-time job and a loan application for those fucking things. Excuse my language.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's real. That's real, man. That is a fact there.
And I know y'all remember this too. Remember baseball cards, baseball training. The kids were so happy when we would ride bikes at everybody's house. Hey, I got this Willie Mays. Hey, I got this. I got this. I got that. And we used to trade baseball cards like we
All
used to
day.
shoot marbles in a bag. Remember marbles in a bag? See, we don't have that stuff no more, man. Stick ball,
Mm-mm.
handball. We don't have none of that stuff no more. We really don't. We really don't have that stuff. I mean, unless I guess if you're up north, you might still have handball. You don't see too many cats playing stickball. I mean, it's like it's just the little things that made life great to what it was supposed to be. Nowadays, I don't know what's going on, man. It's like
Trading.
Jay said, more money, more problems, more technology, more problems.
Yep.
Yeah, that trading cards thing, man. We in my neighborhood back when we were 11 and 12, man. We would trade baseball cards and basketball cards, and we would do that shit
Yep.
for hours, man.
Oh yeah.
And it was so much fun,
Hours.
bro. Because you would develop strategies. Okay, I want that. I want that Shaq rookie card, man. Okay,
Yep.
I need to focus. I need to think what you turn into a GM, a
Yep.
general manager for a team, and be like, okay, I'm gonna get this Chris Webber with the Warriors, and I'm gonna scoop
Yep.
up. I'm gonna scoop up D Brown that won the slam dunk contest in '91,
Yep.
and then I'm gonna offer that trade. You know what I mean? You would come up with stuff, and if he
Oh yeah.
bite, you'd be like, yeah, I got him. I got him. That was so much. That was so much fun, man. That was so much
Or
fun.
like a Steve Francis or Glenn Rice. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
all that stuff, man.
Tracy McGrady,
Yeah,
or Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying? Like those were trades that were worth it because the way we were trading was the way that they were trading on TV. And that's what was, like you said, it was so exciting because you could play GM for a minute. You could trade just like they trade on TV or like you traded in Wall Street.
Yeah, and you had to think, man. You had to use your brain, man, to present trades and be like, no, man, you trying to get me, cuz I'm not doing that. That was man, you just opened up. That was so much fun, man.
But yet, how many people, when you used to trade cards, could you can sit here today and say, yo, I actually fleeced them with some of the packages I put up. I got a Charles Barkley card for like a Mike Dunleavy card, a couple other cards, and a stick of Bazooka Joe bubblegum. I left that day and I'm like, I left that day and I'm like, well, I can't believe he fell for that shit. You know what I mean? It wasn't just cards. Like, yeah, you throw, like you said, like the big GM mode.
Oh, yeah.
But then you'd always have like one or two things that weren't card related, and you'd be like, yo, I'm going to throw that in there too. I bet you that gets them and stuff.
That'll do it, yeah.
Right? So.
Yeah. That was, man, that just brought a memory, man. It was like that was everything, man. Like, all right, we're gonna be on my porch at 3:00. You guys better be there. We're gonna get there, and we're gonna get going. We're gonna get this thing moving.
And then they had the plastic. It had the plastic plate, like all them big time cards, like them Jordan cards or the Wayne Gretzky's or Bo Jackson. They used to have those little plates, the cards that they would have in stores, and there were plates around them. Like, you don't have that stuff no more unless you go to an old school, you know what I'm saying, sports store or like a comic store, like when comic books with DC used to come out. They had them in that plastic joint where you can see the hologram shining. They don't have that stuff no more. Like they really don't have that stuff no more. Cats was trading Marvel comics like they were baseball and basketball and football cards. Like it was a trade for everything. It was a trade for everything. But because we don't have that no more, it takes away all the fun from our childhood because we were able to do all that. Like you guys as kids, they're not able to do that unless you guys tell them like, hey, daughters, sons, hey, this is what we used to do. You know what I'm saying? And then, they'll rock with it. But automatically rocking with it coming on this planet, they couldn't do that.
Yeah. And I honestly wonder, though, how many kids this generation could actually negotiate the way we did for some of these cards and comic books? I don't think that they could because, again, like we've all said, the art of interacting with people, you need the art of interaction to be able to, like, make these moves and stuff. Now it's just kids will sit there and be like, oh, I'll throw this comic book up online and stuff and it'll sell and then I ship it out. Nah, man, you want to negotiate. Like that was the whole fun of it. That was going out there talking to your boys, calling them a mud butt and stuff because they won't trade this with you. Or, you know what I mean? Like, it's great.
You dumb as shit for that. Man. You dumb as shit for not getting this rookie card. You gave me. I remember other people around. You had 3 people around you, and you had 2 that were training, but you had 1 that knew it, and they looking at you like, man, don't trade this, trade that. You a dumbass. See, I respected people calling me a dumbass back then because it was a lot easier to understand why you were stupid. But now you can't do that no more, man. Because like you said it yourself, Brian, like how many people can negotiate the way we used to negotiate? You know what I'm saying? Like how many people could really say, hey, let me get this card, but hold on for a minute, let me look it up. You don't need to look it up. We didn't have to look it up. Even with all the books, the sports almanacs and all the books that we had, we looked it up if we had that time, but we already kind of knew from watching sports and then learning and then integrating and exactly and being around human being interaction. And that's what I don't like about the 21st century, because the human interaction kind of went out the window. And it's like I don't know, fellas, I don't know what y'all think about that, but it's like it's just crazy, man, because I miss the human interactions, man. I miss talking on the chat line for all night. Even if it was some broad you never met in your life, man, you could just sit there all night talking about some stuff. You up until 6 o'clock in the morning, and you tired as hell trying to talk to this broad. But you can't do that no more because people don't like talking on the phone. Hey, I'll text you. Text me? Yeah. What you mean text me? I'll text you. I'll text you this or I'll text you that. Man, there wasn't no texting stuff back then. We were just leaving messages over the phone. If you can't get in touch with me, use the AT&T phone thing, man. Like it's just a lot has really changed And I don't think in a society in the 21st century it'll ever go back to the way it is, because the values is gone. Like the 90s were the value. It was a value area. 80s were value areas. Because like I was telling him, Brian, like I was telling Earl, that the 80s were prime from the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when the country itself was getting back to normal. I mean, of course, you still had your dumbass people doing dumb shit, but it was very light. Now, every time you turn on the news, you got motherfuckers want to live in the country, live in the woods, because they don't want to be around somebody else. Or you got motherfuckers, man, doing. I mean, it's just so much stupid shit. I'm like, to me, y'all got too much time on your hands. We all should be trying to do. Now
I was gonna mention with them cards, man. We lived it, man. You didn't have to.
We lived it.
We lived that junk, like you were mentioned. Like we lived it, so it's like you shouldn't have to look nothing up. You should just know just from, we lived it, man. So you know what's a good trade and what's not a good trade. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna go to the chat. Mom Dukes has been tapping in. We will get her in as well. Gen X souls help get fed with those nostalgic trinkets, and we are blessed to have and saved and collected. Absolutely true there. Oh, she's from Boston. Oh, I didn't know she was from Boston. Okay, shout out to Boston, Massachusetts. Okay, we had WBCN Kiss 108, 106 Smooth Listening. I missed the DJs from the radio stations. Straight up. Mud pies and building forts, build character and imagination. Now AI does all that. Yeah, absolutely. Just like putting puzzles together, the big old 500-piece puzzles and stuff. Absolutely. I mowed lawns, I mowed so many lawns to feed my sports card addiction. Mom Dukes, man, you one of us.
And you know,
talking about mowing lawn, holy crap.
Yep.
That
mowing lawn, shoveling snow. But another thing, even too, with the sports collecting, you guys remember we used to be able to buy a pack of cards for like $2 and you got 20 of them in there. Now you're paying $15 for a pack of cards and you might get 3 or 4 cards in there. And it's ridiculous,
It's sickening. And those cards, the chances for those cards to you make a profit of those cards nowadays is next to zero now.
You had better chance of getting some of the big name cards when we did it, because we just, 5-6 packs at a time, not like one at a pops, right?
Yeah. So, much better chance. Definitely sure did. Let's see. Ever play flipping for cards, man? You could lose your best shit if you go in too deep. And turn the ringer off so you could avoid the bill collectors. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Don't answer it. Yeah. No, that's true. That's absolutely true.
Or what was the other one? The phone would ring, you'd answer it, and they'd be asking for your mom, and you'd be like, hold on for a second, and you'd be like, Mom, it's so and so. Tell them I'm in the bathroom. Yeah, she in the bathroom. She'll call you back, and then you hang up, and you just she'll never call them back. That was always a good one.
That was a good one to use, man. Oh my gosh, it's just. Oh boy, what else? We've gotten into style a little bit. We talked about we've tapped into the next with the clothing, like the Air Force Ones, the starter jackets, just all that stuff, man. It's just it's what's good about this is we really can go any direction, any place with this thing. Hold on, you guys hear that?
Yeah, I heard that.
Hold on, you guys hear that?
It was like a sounded okay. I don't hear it no more. It was like an echo, right? For a second.
Yeah.
That just started. Now I know that. Let me see. I don't got my Now I know that. Let me see. I don't got my Yeah, there's a little bit of a hiccup there. I don't know. Yeah. Echo, Mom Dukes. Yeah. Let me see. So it's like the 5 second. It's like a 5 second.
So it's like the
There
five
it is.
second to the 5 second.
Refresh.
Yeah.
Refresh may help. I'm gonna have to try that. Let me see.
Refresh. Yeah.
So if
Refresh may help. Let's try that. Let me see. So if I
Mm-mm. All right, I'm gonna try something.
all right, let's try something.
So if I close.
So if I close.
All right, just tried something. Let me see if I went away for a second. Think we're good. Mom,
We're
dude.
good. Mom, dude.
I thought I was in there. Oh shoot.
Oh, shit.
And one of you guys
And one of you guys say something.
If you guys got a
You guys got a
I think I got a little bit of feedback too.
I got a little bit of feedback too.
okay.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Well,
The munchkins are home. I can hear them.
yeah.
I can feel them.
Come here. These are my little ones. This is my my son Jason.
This is
Hey, how you doing, Jason?
That's my son.
And then this is my daughter Madison. Right
How you doing?
Hello, how you doing, Madison?
All right, guys. I'll be
What's up?
hang out.
How you doing, man? Nice to meet you.
Bye, buddy. Yeah.
Let's see.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try one more time, guys.
All right,
See if I
try.
can.
I'm gonna try one more time, guys. See if I can.
Hold on one second. All right.
Hold on one second. All right.
And it's already 4 o'clock.
Oh, there we go. Nope, that didn't work.
Let's see. Yes.
Okay, it's not that.
Oh, brother.
Just a second. We got. Malik, you there?
I'm here.
You may have to restart. Okay.
Sorry, guys, just doing a little straightening up right quick.
Mom Duke is right. You may have to restart the screen. You think they've been acting funky. Yeah. I think that might be the answer there. Okay. So guys, I'm going to restart it. I'm going to send you guys another link. Here in a second. Mom Dukes, I'm gonna take your advice with that. Yeah, we'll probably. I think I wanna. I'm gonna end the stream. I'm gonna shoot you guys some invites, and we'll try to do like another 30 minutes. I think that'll be cool. You guys good with that?
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. Mom Dukes, thanks for the advice. I think we're gonna go ahead and do that. This is gonna go. I'm gonna put this on. And So we'll be back. About to come back here. Right.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, so that.